Kabarole, when it was almost unheard of for Batoro to come out and support an opposition candidate. And I remember by then I was in P6, I was just a young girl, but I saw his poster, and he wasn't quite popular that side, and I decided to, I actually got a ladder, climbed a tree, and picked his poster, and I took it home. I didn't even know that it was illegal for someone to do that. So my father came back home, and he asked where that poster had come from. I told him I saw this poster. Everywhere I was seeing Museveni's poster, and this face was new to me, and for me this is going to be my candidate. I was a young girl, but I have supported Dr. Kizza Besigye since then as a pupil in P6, and eventually I got to know him physically. I met him physically. That is when I was at Bickering University in 2010, and I have known Dr. Kizza Besigye to be a strong man. I've known Dr. Kizza Besigye to be a very strong man. I think most people know him as a strong man. So for him to break down, this should be a wake-up call. It should tell everyone that actually the issue that we are currently grappling with as FDC, that the issue we are dealing with, the issue of dirty money, is actually very, very deep. Okay. And it should not be taken for granted.
Good. Let's dig into the depth of this issue. Dirty money, dirty money. What is this dirty money you're talking about?
Well, you know, like all leaders, like a father, this is something that Dr. Kizza Besigye tried to solve internally. This is something that he tried to deal with only a few people that were involved in the dirty money issue. And that was Nathan Nandala Mafabi,
the SG,
our outgoing Secretary General, and also the Honorable Amriat,
the president of the party.
The outgoing president of the party. So that is where the whole issue rotated from. It is said that Nathan Nandala Mafabi contacted Dr. Kizza Besigye, and he told him he wanted him to keep for him 500 million. And the explanation that he gave was that a URA was after him, that if he put the money on his accounts, URA was going to take everything off his accounts. And Dr. Kizza Besigye wasn't bad. He decided to keep the money for Nathan Nandala Mafabi. But the money was delivered in the night at 10 p.m. during curfew.
That was about...
that was in 2020.
September 2020?
Around September. And of course that was worrying, you know. But to cut the story short...
Did he question why the money was delivered in the night?
Of course he did question why the money was delivered in the night. And Nandala told him, no, it's okay, relax. All is well. And until Dr. Kizza Besigye received some intelligence that the money had actually come from State House. And initially, this is the information that he received from one of the members belonging to the Nandala team, by the way, saying that there was money that has come in, but I think it was an issue to do with the sharing element. So that person leaked the information. And of course, Doctor later on got more information about where that money had come from. But all that was being handled within very few people. It was Nandala, Jack Sabiti, the group that is involved, and a few elders trying to see how they can handle that. Now, unfortunately, as all that was going on, Nandala Mafabi was moving around the country, blackmailing Dr. Kizza Besigye.
Blackmailing him?
Yes, how he has not supported him, how he gave him money and he didn't return the whole amount. He said a lot of nonsense. And definitely, Dr. Kizza Besigye is human. He has built a name that he needed to defend. And it was during National Council to really show that Dr. Kizza Besigye was very much interested in solving this issue internally. National Council that sat in 2022. I remember the media was not there, and Dr. Kizza Besigye started breaking down the whole issue of the dirty money. Now, that is when the rest of the leaders got to know about the issue of the dirty money. And of course, Nandala also responded, trying to say that even Dr. Besja used to get money. How come no one used to question the source of his finances? Anyway, to cut the story short, an elders committee was recommended.
Yes.
National Council recommended that an elders committee should be put in place. And 6 months down the road, the party president, one of the accused, came to the National Executive Committee and presented names. And I can tell you that for the first time, our NEC meeting started at exactly 9.
On time?
On time. Because usually, for those of us who are used to keeping time, you'll go there at 10 and you find NEC.
What did that speak?
NEC has not yet started. Now, I'm still narrating to the story.
No, what did that speak?
Of course, it communicated that there was something not right. There was something irregular. Much as the right thing is to start on time, but I'm telling
normally
you,
don't start on time.
We do not start on time. And I remember I was a bit held up at City Hall with the Lord Mayor, so we came in a bit late, like 30 minutes later, and we found that names had been passed by the National Executive Committee, and we tried to challenge the composition of that committee that was put in place. First and foremost...
Having the 7 names?
The 7 names. First and foremost, there were 2 members on that committee that sit on the National Executive Committee, which is presided over by the president that was under investigation. So there was Muzei Kasozi Robinson,
yes,
who was a member. And if you would follow his story and what he has been talking about, Dr. Chizabeste, so he felt that was conflict of interest. And then there was the vice chairman of Buganda, Muzei Mukalazi. That one, it is the office of the chairman that is in charge of chairing National Council, where the same report was supposed to be presented. So we said, no way, that can't be, you know. It's the office of the chairman. He cannot be on the committee. And of course, myself being very passionate about issues of gender, I said, but look here, there's only one female, you know. Why don't we add on another one? And was simply shut down, you know. They said, you have come late. This issue, we have already tackled it. So we knew from the word go that there was a problem. We knew from the word go that most likely this committee was not going to do what it was expected to do. Anyway, the committee was passed. And Dr. Frank Nawiso, the person that I used to highly respect, hold in high regard, was voted to become the chairman of that committee. And he was deputized by Mr. Katembeya Stanley. And the committee of 7, first of all, there's one of the committee members who never appeared for any of the meetings. And no explanation in the elders report was given as to why he never appeared for any of the meetings. Now, as the processes were ongoing, Mr. Katembeya Stanley, the vice chairman, was uncomfortable with the way Dr. Nawiso was conducting himself. As the investigations were going on, Dr. Nawiso was attending meetings of the Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi and Poor Amriat in Usoga, in Iteso, and in other areas. And they were still discussing the issue of data money, trying to defend themselves and tarnish Dr. Besje's name. And the vice chairman told him, Dr. Nawiso, we think what you're doing is not proper. So he promised he would stop attending those meetings, and unfortunately he did not stop.
Okay.
The other issue that Mr. Katembeya complained about was the issue of the secretary. The secretary of the committee was never passed by the National Executive Committee. He was merely put on the committee by the Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi, someone who was being investigated. So you could clearly see bias from the word go. So I personally never expected miracles. I didn't expect any miracles. I did expect impartiality from the committee. Because even when they were done, allegedly, rating their report, it was handed over to one of the people being investigated. That is the party president. And yet the assignment was given to them by the party chairman. The report should have been delivered to the party chairman.
Okay, we shall get back to the report, Deputy Lord Mayor, including your response, which I have here that you wrote. But Let's get back to the allegations fronted by Dr. Kizza Besigye. Dr. Besigye agamba sente zajja nga ziva mu State House, and yet Nathan Nandala Mafabi yakugamba sente yalina obuvunaanyizibwa okunoonya sente nga mugenda mu kalulu nga FDC, era sente zino zaali z'aba agents. How do you respond to that?
Wow.
Ochogerako ekyo.
You know, it's really quite absurd. First of all, FDC is not run, or is not supposed
I would prefer if you mix Luganda and English.
To be run like Nandala's family. FDC tukiririza mu demokrasia. Mu FDC tetusuubira mbu Secretary General agenda kwebaka azukuka agambe kati FDC ndowooza eyagalayo sente n'agenda n'akola kinanoonya sente kati ebyo bye byaliwo mu kibiina. Nze ntula ku NEC naye njagala tegeeza abalabi ba Baba TV. Tetumanyi Nandala sente yafuna mmeka. Tetumanyi Nandala zino sente zatugamba zava mu legitimate sources zavaawa. Kwanga singa yatugamba legitimate source n'agamba maybe nazijja mu banka awo twanditegedde. Nemwe njagala babuuza mwali mulabyeyo banka egamba nkuwadde sente naye sikuwadde loan terms.
Ekyo tekiriyo.
Nze sikirabangako. So sente oba yazijja mu banka atubuulire what were the terms and conditions.
Well, but Engineer Patrick Oboy Amriat mukusooka yatugamba nti sente ziva mu sources nyingi, which may even include people in government that may not want to disclose their name, their identities.
You see, ebyo bye twandibadde tusuubira okuva mu kakiiko. Okitegeera. Akana akakiiko twakateekawo okutufunira evidence. Unfortunately, ekyo tebakikola. Otherwise, bwe tuba twateekako akakiiko kakola investigations, ne kakola okurecordinga conversations, Nandala yayogera kino, Amriat yayogera kino, Besigye n'ayogera kino, ne batatuweereza yadde finding n'emu. Nga Dr. Besigye gye bw'ayogedde, the only finding that they got was that the issue is so sensitive. So clearly speaking, there's nothing that the committee did.
Okay.
So, and this was an opportunity for the Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi to table all his evidence and say, people, look here, this is the amount of money that I borrowed. Unfortunately, he didn't do that in the committee. He would have said, these were the terms and conditions that I was given as I was borrowing money. We also expected the committee to check with the party accounts.
Oba sente
zagendayo. You get it? Unfortunately, all that was not done.
Okay, again we shall.
And Chidala, you know, people are saying, but evidence, yeriwa. Dr. Kizza Besigye mwaka akakiiko ya presenting a serial number.
Which the report is not talking about those serial numbers
now
anyway.
That report is not even talking about the serial numbers. Ne Dr. Kizza Besigye serial numbers yakola ki yazibawa. Nga bwogenda ku serial numbers ezo oyinza okutegeera zino sente zakola ki wezava. Unfortunately, all that was not done. So the committee really let us down. The committee decided to be biased instead of saving the Forum for Democratic Change.
We shall get back to that again,
right.
Your Lordship. They're also throwing it to your face. They're saying, why is Dr. Kizza Besigye demanding to know the source of this money now, yet by the time he led the FDC, he stood for the presidency, nobody questioned where the huge sums of money that were coming in FDC were actually coming from.
You see, for me, those are excuses that do not make sense to me. That's the kind of defense that actually does not make any sense to me. If anything, Nathan Nandala Mafabi was the Deputy Treasurer to the Honorable Jack Sabiti. Are they telling us that they learned there was money that was coming from State House and they kept quiet? Definitely not. Definitely not. Meaning they are simply trying to run away from the questions that we are asking them. We are saying Dr. Kizza Besigye used to fundraise and the sources where he used to get the monies from were known. Because Nandala was the Deputy Treasurer, Jack Sabiti was the Treasurer. Did they at one time suspect that this money was coming from, you know?
And they remained silent.
And they remained silent? Definitely not. And Kung, maybe to just make it very clear to the viewers of Baba TV, we have nothing personal against the person of Nathan Nandala Mafabi.
Really?
We hold nothing personal against the Honorable Patrick Amriat Oboi. I should make it clear that I was part of the campaign team that moved the entire country campaigning for the Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi when he was contesting against General Mugisha Muntu in 2012. You probably know that I authored a book. The person who gave me a foreword was the Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi. We supported the Honorable Amriat.
So you're not fighting the person.
We are not fighting the person. And I have always told people that I love and treasure Dr. Kizza Besigye. But I don't love him. I love what he stands for because that is what I believe in. Should he wake up and say, moving forward, I've now gone to support Museveni, you do not expect me to continue supporting him.
So you equally
So I supported Power because he portrayed himself as a street activist. I am a street activist myself. I believe in civil disobedience. And I felt he called himself a man of action. I'm equally a lady of actions, you know. So I felt attracted to that. So if now he comes up and says, no, I can no longer support activism, I can no longer support the Katonga group. And we also learned that Poa received 280 million of the data money. We do not know what he used it for. Do you expect me to continue supporting him?
Not at all.
Definitely not. So it is nothing personal. It's just because they have diverted from issues that attracted some of us to supporting them.
Well, tugana mukumula mukatono nnyo ko Baba TV program ganga muka hot kapat 9 ke kanyomero na deputy Lord Mayor Mchala Doreen Nyanjura tumula mukatono tukomao. I continue probing tava.
This is Hot. Enoni Baba TV obusoga bulaire. Bitunde biranyewo twe United for Junction Shopping Mall ekirika Namugongo Road mu maaso ga Sheru Kireka jangu wegulire ebintu mu maduuka gaffe omuli supermarket ez'omulembe amaduuka ag'engoye eziri ku mulembe ayagala amasimu amapya restaurants ez'omulembe ezifumba ekimere ekiri loko emmere yaffe endala omuli ne Continental Food Makeup Studios yenjogera ekindekeki bannange parking ngazi ate nga security eri ggulugulu byonna ku Junction Shopping Mall ekirika Namugongo Road maaso ga Kireka tukulindiridde.
Psalms. Taste the difference. Oba poloti enogeddwa eddagala Muzimbe Construction ne Muzimbe Property Agency bakusabukulira estate empya okumpi ne Nyanya na Lubaale ku bbeeyi layisi ku bukadde 8,885 bakuguza poloti 5 ku 10 nga ya kyapa wamanga we ziri olengirira ddala Nyanja na Lubaale estate ene esange bakatosi kiruddu okulinaana National Water. Muzimbe Construction ne Muzimbe Property Agency bakuyambako n'okukuzimbira mu poloti yo singa obeera okyetaaze gwabeetaaze genda ku Ikotorio Mall room 1014 Kibuga Kampala wakati okumanya ebisingawo kuba ku noti 75 15 51 11 oba noti 75 27 92 noti emu oba noti 7 noti 2 51 10 10.
Enoni Baba TV obusoga bulaire. Eno ni gangamka ku Baba TV. This is Hot.
Ku Baba TV Hot Cup at 9 nze Adam Kungu nina Her Worship Doreen Nyanjura, Deputy Lord Mayor Kampala, NEC member mu kibiina kya FDC nga tunulira ku kusuka omuguwa okugenda maaso wakati mu bakulembeze b'ekibiina kya FDC. Initially of course started by Dr. Kizza Besigye alowooza nti waliwo ssente ezaava mu mikono emikyamu. He branded it dirty money, and I think that's what everyone is using now. Sente z'ekibi, sente ezava mu sources ezitali ntuufu ekyagenda maaso n'okutabula bannakibiina kya FDC. Well, Madam Nyanjura, tutunulireko ku contents eza report eno. Dr. Kizza Besigye we yadde ayogera jjo yatugambye temuli makulu. He trashed whatever was therein, or whatever is therein. But when you look at the report, yakulaze nti Nathan Nandala Mafabi ya satisfying a committee, yaba satisfying waji yajja sente nagamba yazijja mu kwa county ze nalaga engeri gye yazikozesaamu ku mafuta ebazigabanira n'ebirala. And you find that odd and surprising.
Probably you and I twasoma reports indala. Kubanga nze report eyo kye nalabamu bali ba recording conversations. Nandala yatugambye kino, Nandala yatugambye sente zavudde mu legitimate sources, Nandala yatugambye sente twali twetaaga akalulu kali ketaaga 2.7 billion. Iyo budget Nandala yagikola ng'omuntu ani yagikola. Okitegeera. So really akakiiko ako tekainako ekyakola. There's nothing that the committee did apart from recording minutes, apart from recording conversations. Because
well, mu kakiiko katugamba mu reporter yaabwe nti Nandala yagezaako okutuukirira Dr. Kizza Besigye okubayambako okunoonya sente okufacilitating campaigns zamwe n'ebirala. And Dr. Besigye ignored them. Ne basalawo okutekinga decision nti yenga Nathan Nandala Mafabi sawansi w'ekibiina anoonye sente, which he did.
I think Dr. Besigye bambi bamukozeseza nyonga excuse. Because first and foremost, I think Dr. Kizza Besigye has been very clear as to why he did not find it necessary to participate in the elections of 2021. Fast forward, he had declared to the leadership of the Forum for Democratic Change 3 years earlier how he was not going to come back to contest for presidency. And unfortunately, up to the last minute, the FDC had not gotten a candidate. They still thought they would plead with him, beg him, and he comes and carries the flag. So anyway, he tried to also convince them to probably not front a candidate, something they are now trying to use against him. But for me, it was in good faith, because the FDC that we know, especially when it comes to presidential elections, we don't like merely escorting those that are participating. Usually, tuba twagala okuteka kembeera, because we are the government in waiting. And number two, when Patrick Amriat Oboy eventually became the FDC flag bearer, there was a campaign team. There was a campaign team. And Nandala disbanded the campaign team out of nowhere.
Because there was no money, according to him.
That is an excuse. I can tell you have participated in campaigns. For me, I was on the campaign team for Dr. Kizza Besigye in 2016. You saw Dr. Kizza Besigye moving around, collecting money from people. We did not have money. But we have so many activists. Are you going to hold that against me?
Kubango batolina.
Mbasirina. So you cannot use that against me. Nogamba rakuba Nyanjura kati aganyo kumpa sente, nze kangende wa Museveni's jail sente, kangende wa enemies jail sente. That is total crap. So they should, honestly speaking, stop using that as an excuse.
You're close to Dr. Kizza Besigye, who is actually the source of these allegations. Do you stand here to confirm that Patrick Oboy Amriat and Nathan Nandala Mafabi got money from Mr. Museveni?
You see, like I said from the start, Dr. Besigye is a senior leader in this country and a respected leader to that. I don't think that Dr. Besigye is these kwala people mbwagenda zukuka atandika okuwayiriza Nandala oba Poa.
You confirm?
Do you see Dr. Kizza Besigye gamba sente nafuna bwezo has really let this country down?
Do you feel disappointed?
I feel so disappointed. I feel so disappointed that even me, a junior researcher, I cannot come up with that report that he came up with. A report that the only finding it was able to come up with is that the issue is so sensitive.
You did
a
find...
committee that was dealing with data money, but it did not even find it, necessary that they would at least try to adopt someone, an expert, maybe an accountant of sorts, to ask legitimate questions. A committee that was dealing with data money, but its recommendations were reconciliation. Its recommendations were that we need to amend the constitution. Its recommendation was that we need to rate the party history when we are dealing with the issue of dirty money. A committee that sat and listened to 5 people ganging up against Dr. Kizza Besigye and was even never given an opportunity to appear again before that committee to clarify on the allegations that were made against him. If you look at the report, you realize that the first person to appear before that committee was Dr. Kizza Besigye.
Yes.
After that, the people who got the data money came and they were making all sorts of allegations, totally diverting from the questions that they were supposed to answer. But Dr. Nabuso and team did not find it necessary, to call Dr. Kizza Besigye and say, sir, this is what has
What
been said
legitimate
against
questions
you.
do you want the committee to ask?
I have already said we expected the committee to analyze the party accounts, to see whether there was money put on the party accounts. We expected the committee to tell us how much money Nandala borrowed allegedly on behalf of the party. That was never done. We also expected the committee to tell us the lineup of the beneficiaries of that money, because we now know a few of them. We know Poa received 280 million. We expected the committee to ask him what that 280 million was for. Was it for his campaigns? For you, have you ever seen a candidate being given money and this is a party and it's the candidate who is distributing money?
I've not seen.
I have also not seen that. We needed to know Geoffrey Kanya, our Treasurer General, if he also got the money, how much money did he get? Who else
Received the money?
Who else received the money? And I'm telling you, all those questions were never answered. And you cannot start talking about reconciliations when we still have all these issues. And number 2, for me, in my entire life, the entire time I have spent supporting FDC, I never imagined that time will come and they start fearing going to Najana Nkumbi.
Yeah?
You
never imagined that time will come and you start fearing going to your party headquarters.
Going to my party headquarters, me Nyanjura, commonly known as FDC preacher.
You never imagined that?
I never imagined that.
Do you fear now going to the party headquarters?
I never imagined that such a time would come.
So do you fear now?
I never imagined that I needed to debate on whether I can go to Najana Nkumbi putting on a dress or a skirt. You get it? But currently that is what is happening. Our party has been taken over by goons.
Come again?
Our party has been taken over by goons.
FDC?
The Forum for Democratic Change has been taken over by goons. We saw them. You saw them during National Council. Goons covering their faces. I never imagined that our party would be locked up for the public. It's under the reign of Nandala and Poa that the gates at our headquarters are closed to the public. So that is the...
Goons have taken over FDC.
This is the FDC now that we are talking about. And I never imagined that a time will come when journalists are beaten for visiting the party headquarters. I never imagined that time would come and in FDC we do not have any transparency. That in FDC we do not have elections that are free and fair. I never imagined that, because this is why some of us cannot support Museveni, because we believe there's no democracy there. We don't see free and fair elections, but apparently that is what is happening. that Nandala Power, they are telling FDC members to go for elections when we do not have any register. They are telling the FDC members to go for elections when we do not even have party cards. Now that is the reign of Nandala and Power. And some of us are saying no. Our years of fighting, our years of sacrifice cannot simply go down the drain.
How would you best describe leadership at Nyanjura Nkumbi at the moment?
I don't think we have, if you're talking about leadership and you're looking at Nandala and Power, for me, I can never call that leadership. Because I've been a leader.
These are your leaders.
I know
these are leaders of the party.
I know what leadership entails. They are supposed to be leaders of the party.
So what are they?
Unfortunately, they are not leaders.
What are they?
They are 7 agents in the party. Because clearly all the things that they are promoting, these are things that we see being done in NRM.
Do you see?
Can you imagine over the weekend? You know, the way in FDC we conduct elections, we go through the village level, you go up to the parish, sub-county, constituents, and then you go up to the district level. But over the weekend, there were elections that, we are told elections at Nyanjura Nkumbi, voting leaders that are going to represent Wachiso.
You heard that elections happened?
At Nyanjura Nkumbi, to elect leadership delegates for Wachiso district.
That's horrible.
And those that tried to protest saying, but we are from Wachiso, we do not know of any elections, they were beaten.
They were beaten?
They were beaten because they do not subscribe to the dictatorship that is currently being promoted by Nandala and Power. So Adams, viewers of Baba TV, apparently that is the leadership, that is the crisis that we are dealing with in FDC. And you expect me to be party to that?
Would you say these leaders are incompetent?
I think incompetent.
Or have they failed on their mandate?
Incompetent is an understatement. You know, when someone is on a mission, and you know there are people who have been saying, but you guys, you should have kept quiet. Leaders in Democratic Party kept quiet. And we know where they have ended. Leaders in UPC kept quiet. And we know where they have ended. Our keeping quiet would mean that we are going to betray Ugandans that have paid the ultimate price. Keeping quiet would mean that we are going to betray Ugandans with broken limbs who have been fighting for change in this country. So keeping quiet is not a choice. But that is why we have come out, we are doing everything possible to make sure that we save our party.
But are you cognizant of the fact that you are tearing the party apart? Because now we are talking about factions. You hear of the Katonga faction, the Nyanjura Nkumbi faction. Perhaps those that are saying maybe you should have kept quiet are trying to keep the party together.
Those are enemies of the struggle. Those are enemies of the liberation struggle. Because you cannot tell me that I should keep quiet and then I end up like DP and UPC. We are going to be exonerated. We are going to be exonerated. When Mugumya finally comes here, he will say that Nyanjura did not keep quiet when the Forum for Democratic Change was being sold to FDC, to NRM. He will be proud of me. Many other Ugandans that have sacrificed will be proud of me for not keeping quiet and for trying to save the party. We are not trying to break the party. We are trying to prevent our party from being taken to NRM.
What is the end result, Madam Nyanjura? What is the end result?
For me, instead of remaining with people who no longer believe in the ideals of FDC, our ideals are here.
Your constitution.
In our constitution. We stand for transparency, we stand for accountability, we stand for rule of law, we stand for so many things. We stand for justice, we stand for respect for human rights. If we are no longer standing for that, then should we keep quiet? Should we turn a blind eye when we are going against the ideals as to why the Forum for Democratic Change was formed?
Okay, what's your game plan?
We are not going to do that.
Yes, you're not going to do that, your worship. What is your game plan? Do you intend to come out with a new political party? Do you intend to resign from all these committees where you sit? What is your game plan?
Now, you see, what you have said, as forming a new party, is actually what the Nandala team has been praying for. I remember when we were in Garuga for a retreat, the Honorable Jack Sabit said, these Lukwagos, if they want to go, the Vestiges, they can go. FDC will stay. The same recently has been reinforced by the Vice Chairman, Muzei Mukalazi. But we are telling them, we are going nowhere. We are going nowhere.
You're going to fight from within.
We are going to fight and save Forum for Democratic Change from opportunists. We are going nowhere now.
But the people you're calling opportunists seem to be more powerful than maybe what you expect.
I don't know what you call powerful.
People that can hire goons, the ones you're calling goons, put them at the party headquarters, have military and other security personnel, huge in number, put them at the headquarters of the party.
Are you saying they are more powerful than Gaddafi? And let me tell you, by the way, Amuriat and Nandala know how powerful our team is. They know what we are capable of. Adams, at a time we started supporting Amuriat. Yes, he has been in the party, but we should agree that people didn't know him. That most of the FDC members did not know him. But the mere fact that we hit the ground and campaigned for Amuriat, and he was able to defeat the Honorable Mujisha Muntu
2017
should show you how powerful and what our team is capable of. Because we did not even have money. And that is why I'm surprised why they were all of a sudden trying to use money as an excuse. We did not have money during Amuriat's campaign, but he was able to defeat a general, so they know what we are capable of.
Honorable Nyanjura.
And they also know that members of FDC are not people you're going to, are not people you're going to entice with money.
Honorable Nyanjura.
They cannot be enticed with money. They are not people that are going to be beaten and they start supporting Nandala on gunpoint.
Okay. Honorable Nyanjura.
We have them, they have just returned from Luzira. Some of them with wounds. One of our colleagues was beaten and he has been in ICU in Machon Bay in Luzira. But if you ask him, is he now supporting Nandala because he was beaten? So money is not going to silence us. These goons they are bringing to beat us are not going to intimidate us.
Okay, I've just heard you say Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi and or the current leadership of the party, I'm serving his agents. I've just quoted that from you.
And are you doubting it?
In 2017, again, you've just talked about that election that ushered in power. I covered that election. Genom Grigori Mujisha Muntu, mubigambo bye. Nagamba, time will tell. We shall know who the real moles are. Do you think General Muntu has now been exonerated?
Well, I think to some extent he's actually been exonerated. Because for me, clearly, if you have good intentions for the Forum for Democratic Change, why would you insist on carrying out a sham election? Why would you insist on carrying out a sham election? Why would you bring guns to beat us? Why would you run away from transparency? Why would you run away from accountability? If your intentions are good, if you mean well for the Forum for Democratic Change. Clearly, the Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi that we supported in 2012, the Honorable Amuriat that we supported, these people have changed. These are not the people that we supported. These are not the people that promised, that we are going to see change. These are not the people that promised to support activism.
Has money changed them, any of you?
Definitely. Money has changed.
Dirty money.
Dirty money has changed them. And that is why some of us are saying, you can enjoy your dirty money, but we are not going to enjoy this money with you. And this is why I'm telling you that members of Forum for Democratic Change are different. Because we had a choice to also eat on that dirty money and keep quiet. Besja had a choice to also enjoy the data man and keep quiet. But we are telling them that we are priceless. We have no praise. That the struggle we are involved in, the struggle that we have been involved in, no amount of money
Okay, your lordship.
can convince us.
Bwe
No
ntunu-
amount of
Yes.
money.
Bwe ntunulira response yo ku report eno, oyogera ku bintu nga bino babitano ebikulu. Oyogera ku quorum, oyogera ku lack of proof of investigation, amount of dirty money that you have entirely, responded to it. Voodoo mathematics, I don't know what that means.
That is fake mathematics, where they failed to do simple basics of addition and subtraction.
Then you talk about the ghost lender of the money, again, that you have explained, lack of seriousness that you've explained. Tell us, again, you're talking about undisclosed expenditures of the dirty money, again, that you've explained, facilitation of committee operations, conflict within the elders committee, that again you've explained, failure to observe the laws of natural justice. Explain a little more about this.
Well,
quorum
I
and
think
this.
the first issue that I talked about was the issue of quorum. That as
Which quorum? Of
as
NEC?
of National Council,
Okay.
the composition of National Council, at a minimum, we are supposed to have 250
250.
members of National Council.
Okay.
Because we have members of NEC who are around 70. We have members of Parliament. We have LC. We have party chairpersons across the country. We have representatives for the elderly. We have representatives for youth, for women. We have representatives for people with disabilities. We have representatives of our flag bearers for MP who never made it. So as a minimum, National Council is supposed to have 250 members. But if you look at the report, the so-called report that was adopted by National Council, the attendance was just 66 members.
Ooh.
The attendance was just 66 members.
Of the 250.
Of the 250, who was supposed to be the minimum. The attendance that passed the report was 66. But even from those 66, only 58 voted in favor of the report. So what does that tell you? So you cannot come here and say that National Council passed a report.
Just a few members of the
Come
council.
on, it's not even 30% of the composition of the National Council. So the resolutions that were made in that National Council,
Null and void.
they are null and void, because clearly these are now those are people that Nandala facilitated, to come and support
mean
him.
Nandala keeps facilitating people to support
Oh
him?
my God, that is what has been happening. Even when there is facilitation, I can just give you an example. The party will give 50,000 for transport. Nathan Nandala Mafavi, as an individual, will give the chairperson 500,000. So that is where we are. So the decisions that were made by 57 people, 58, you cannot say that this was a decision that was made by members of National Council. And I can tell you, in that National Council, I was there. Regardless of how I tried to fight the goons and all that. This Elders Committee had another report. There was a minority report by the Honorable Stanley Katembeya. And for me, that is the report that I was identifying with.
He didn't come?
Unfortunately, he was never given an opportunity to present the minority report. So that is the forum for democratic change that we are currently talking about. That a minority report was even never given an opportunity to be presented before council.
Okay. Webale, mukyala Nyanjura, tugenda mukuwumulamu katono. Bwe tukomawo nga tunatera okumaliriza, njagala tukigaziyeeko. What does this mean eri FDC n'aboludde oluvuganya government nga tuyingira akalulu ka 2026? And also, the other question I would like to ask, don't you think you are dancing to the tunes of Mr. Museveni, who actually, towards the previous general elections, said that there will be no political parties in 2020 or 2021?
2021. There will be no opposition.
Katuwumule katono nzije tutandikirawo ne mukyalo Doreen Nyanjura tovaawo.
This is Hot. Enoni Baba TV obusoga bulayire. bitundu ebiranyewo tweyune ekifo Junction Shopping Mall ekirika Namugongo Road mu maaso ga Sheru Kireka. Jangu wegulire ebintu mu maduuka gaffe omuli supermarket ez'omulembe, amaduuka ag'engoye eziri ku mulembe, ayagala amasimu amapya, restaurants ez'omulembe ezifumba ekimere ekiri loko, emmere yaffe endala omuli ne Continental Food, Makeup Studios, yenjogera ekindekeki, banange parking ngazi, ate nga security eri ggulugulu. Byonna ebibe ku Junction Shopping Mall ekireka Namugongo Road maaso ga Sheru Kireka. Tukulindiridde.
It is in our passion. It is in our achievements. It is in our architecture and our heritage. It is in the way we nurture and innovate. Imagine if everything we learned led to the one job you have always wanted. The journey isn't always easy, but with the right support, we can succeed and be anything we put our minds to. We come from diverse backgrounds, united by a single purpose, improving our lives through intrication and achieving more than you dreamt possible. Lubega Institute of Nursing and Health Professionals.
Interviews for July 2023 will start on 14th July.
For more information, please call 0772 460 130. Lubega Institute of Health Professionals. Enter to learn, go forth to serve.
Olowooza okutuukiriza ekirooto kyo tukwanjulira Coral Coatings Uganda Limited bakolera langi ez'ebika byonna oba munda ne wabweru. Langi gwe basiiga mu texture n'ebika ebirala bingi nnyo. Emirimu gyaffe tegyenkanika. Jjukira nti amakaago ky'ekitiibwa kyo n'omutindo gwo. Tukwanjulira Coral Coatings Uganda Limited. Tukusembereza.
Maria!
Wanje mama?
Genda ku dduuka ondetere Nisa hand and body lotion. Owulidde?
Mama wuno.
Biki by'okoze bino naawe?
Bampadde.
Yitawo tugende tuddeyo. Yitawo tugende. Naam. Biki bino by'owadde omwana? Namutumye Nisa hand and body lotion. Kati laba by'otuwadde. Nisa hand and body lotion mulungi nnyo. Ayuuyuuta olususu n'ofuna enjawulo mu seconds 3 zokka. Ali mu flavors ez'enjawulo nga shea butter, lavender n'endala nnyingi nnyo. Nisa hand and body lotion atandikirwako agula 13 zokka. Nisa hand and body lotion asangibwa mu maduuka gonna ne supermarkets mu ggwanga lyonna.
Ab'ekitongole kya Southern Range Nyanza enkanya ekyeru nga balwana n'ekitongole kya Indo-Africa Charity Society Canada ne Indo-Africa Trust UK bategeka olusisi olw'ebyobulamu olubaawo buli mwaka olw'omukuzi ogw'ekumi olwa Uganda Medical Mission ku iddwaliro ekkulu ery'ebuwenge mu Jinja District okutandika ennaku edd'omwezi nga 7 okutuuka nga 18 omwezi ogw'omunaana omwaka 2023 wabaidde okeberera amaino okwidandaba amaiso n'okebera endowedde endiri mu mubiri wala n'okuwa abakyala obwidanda by'obwendawulo. Enteekateeka eno ya bwereere nga bino byonna biteebebwamu epiya aba kampani eya Nichel yawagira Baba TV, Tata ne Indo-Africa.
Tirilugaga cricket obo! Ngabri mwene September! David Lutalo live concert! Jatumye! Narongo! Abazimba Lugogoro bagenda okutegeera nti ekifo kyabwe kifunda! Silver Mtwale 2, Gold Mtwale 5, ate Platinum million 3. David Lutalo live concert! Lugogo! Ngabri mwene September! Atolonga 3 September, Mukorokori Hotel. Ngalimu October, Masaka Maria Flow. Haberuero! One shinzo mtwalo gumo. Daudi Lutalo jidde mu nkola mpya ya 5G optical fiber. Enendongesiwa kutira DNA. Daudi Lutalo nanyini eddoboozi erisinga okunyumira abantu. Ayimba ebikuli ku mutima. Atuyimbira ebigambo byaffe eby'omukwano. Baby byonkola baby. N'owulira ku cricket over wano maama. Tosubwa Nalongo. 29 September. Lugogo cricket over. Lujja kuba Friday. Lunotinge. Biwagwidde Buganda kombucha drink. Rosebud mattress. Ne. Asante tangawizi tea. Enoni Baba TV obusoga bulayire. This is Hot
Baba TV Adam Congo ganga muka ko Hot Cup at 9. We have a breaking story as we speak. Semuju Ibrahim Nganda, omwogezi w'ekibiina kya FDC, ate nga ye chief whip w'ababaka ba FDC mu parliament. As we speak, president w'ekibiina kino ekya FDC Nathan Nandala Mafaabi alangiridde wano mu kiwandiiko nti amuggyeko ekyokubeera nampala w'ababaka ba parliament aba FDC mu lukiiko lw'eggwanga olukulu. That is the breaking news story we have. Semuju has been dropped as the FDC chief whip in parliament. Things are getting worse, isn't it?
You see, Banang, members of the opposition, if you can, please avoid getting dirty money. Avoid it. Because we can now clearly see that Nandala is running mad.
Come again?
We can clearly see that Nandala is running mad.
No, he has quoted section 6.
He's running mad. I've been opening this constitution. Me, I don't see the section that he's talking about. It is section 6 here. He's talking about the goal of the party.
Let's look at that document on screen.
But anyway, I don't even have to go to that section because the party secretary general does not have powers to remove the chief whip. I was in the meeting, the NEC meeting, that passed the Honorable Semuju Nganda's name as a chief whip. And by that, he wasn't alone. There were two.
So nekino kimenya mateeka kyakoze.
There were two. I remember there were two. Patrick Amriato Boy had brought the former leader of opposition, and there was also the Honorable Semuju Nganda. And the NEC members decided that moving forward, the Honorable Semuju Nganda was going to be our party chief whip. So where does the Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafaabi get powers to withdraw Semuju? Anyway, for me, I know the Honorable Yusuf Nsimambi as a senior counsel.
He has been appointed the new chief whip of the FDC.
I will be shocked if he expects this appointment, because he knows how the FDC operates. Unlike the NRM, by the way, unlike the other parties, FDC is not run like someone's family. In FDC, we do consultations. In FDC, we decide as an organ. Anyway, I'm still thinking that this could actually be Photoshop, because I can't believe that this can happen.
Well, it's a signed document on the official social media platforms.
Can happen in the Forum for Democratic Change. So colleagues, people who are watching Baba TV, now you know why some of us cannot continue supporting and being part of this madness by Nandala. We cannot. We cannot.
It's a strong language you're using.
We cannot. This is clearly madness. Because I am telling you, the decision to make the Honorable Semuju the chief whip was a decision that was made by the party. But we know they have been after him because they wanted him to appoint some relatives in that office, and the Honorable Semuju refused. So now that we have these conflicts, I think an opportunity has presented itself.
Come again?
But that letter is not binding.
The current leadership of the
FDC
wanted Semuju to appoint their relatives in the
I have heard the
offices occupying.
Semuju saying that Nandala had given him someone to appoint to work with in that office. The party president had done the same thing, and the Honorable Semuju told them, this office is quite sensitive. I have to work with people that I know, so that people are competent. I am not here for you to bring me your relatives to work with. But he stood his ground. So anyway, for me, I don't want to
What does this mean? Because this is the document, Your Worship, that has announced the dropping of Honorable Semuju from the position of FDC chief whip in Parliament. It says appointment of Honorable Yusuf Nsimambi as a party whip for FDC. And he's quoting a certain section there in accordance with section 6.
I have just given you our constitution.
The party hereby appoints Honorable Yusuf Nsimambi as the party whip of the FDC to replace Honorable Semuju Ibrahim Nganda. In the same vein, we hereby withdraw Honorable Semuju Ibrahim Nganda as the party whip with immediate effect.
It's in accordance with section 6.1 of what? Because if you look at our party constitution...
Let's get back there.
which I have, that section is not there. That's why I'm thinking that this could actually...
You think this document is lacking? Because you're saying, in accordance with section 1, and it stops there.
Yes, and I am telling you that I have our party constitution here. That said section is
What does the section say in your what does it talk about?
Section 6.
It talks about the goal.
It talks about the goal of the party. There's no section 6.1, so I wonder which section is quoting actually.
Section 6 of the FDC Constitution talks about the goal. The goal of the party shall be the establishment of a truly united and peaceful Uganda, and the empowerment of the people of Uganda to achieve a better quality of life for all Ugandans. That's what I see here, section 6.
That's what you see. That's why I'm thinking probably this is a joke, and I don't think really we should pay attention to it.
But Madam Nyanjura, these are ugly developments happening at your much-loved party. Doesn't it communicate to something sinister and very ugly for the future of FDC and opposition in the country?
I'm actually here looking at the functions of the Secretary General. And clearly, like I had already said, the Secretary General does not have powers whatsoever to recall the chief whip of the party, because he's not the one who appointed him. So he does not have those powers. He does not have those powers. But I think he's trying to now come back in the media. He's trying to divert the public from the issue of the dirty money that Dr. Besje talked about yesterday. And now he wants the public to divert from talking about the dirty money, and now they start talking about this letter that he has just issued. So, and really that is very absurd. And like we have been saying, we are going to continue rallying members of the Forum for Democratic Change to come out and fight this madness. Okay.
We shall be speaking to Honorable Ssemujju Ibrahim Nganda in the next few minutes on phone about the development, the latest development. Ekibiina kye kisazeewo okubeera nga kimuggyako ogw'okubeera whip mu parliament. We shall be speaking him here in the next few minutes on phone. Ayongera okutubulya kyalowooza ku kino. Honorable Doreen Nyanjura aga nti President Taina.
So President ono na Secretary General meanwhile.
Brother Secretary General Taina buyinza okusonda ku ssemateeka waabwe okurecallinga oba okuwithdrawinga whip w'ekibiina mu parliament. But for now, as we speak, chekibiina kivuddeyo n'ekiwandiiko ekiteereddwako omukono Ssaabawandiisi. Yes, he's the Secretary General of the party.
Yes, but you cannot
he has signed as...
Singa abadde signings on behalf of the party, singa fenga NEC twa-approvinga. Nga bwe twa-approvinga Ssemujju ne tumugamba gwe chief whip, naye NEC tenaba kutuula okugamba Ssemujju tumugjeeyo. So we cannot own up a document that has been signed by an individual. Because the Secretary General does not work on his own. The Secretary General works under the instructions of National Executive Committee and even the National Delegates Conference, because he's the Secretary. So he does not have those powers.
Don't you think the Nandala...
Actually, this is not the Secretary General of FDC. This is Nathan Nandala Mafabi as an individual. Because our Constitution clearly talks about the responsibilities of the Secretary General. And that is not one of his responsibilities. We know he's supposed to write documents on behalf of the party, but he's not authored that document on behalf of the party. He woke up and then he said, today let me go and divert the public from discussing the data money. Let me now issue a letter.
You think this is a diversion?
It is a diversion, clearly.
Bagala kujja bannansi.
It is a diversion.
Kumulama gw'okubuuza ebibuuzo ebikulu.
Dr. Besje yavuddeyo n'atukakasa Nandala yafuna sente z'ekibi. Ate Nandala lekeraawo okututiisatiisa. You get it? Nze simanyi kati message ze n'akafuna. Otandise okukuba Nandala, ojja kulaba ekinaakutuukako, balekeraawo okututiisatiisa. They should stop that. It's nonsense. Ekibiina si kya Nandala ng'omuntu. It's not. Singa mbadde musobola ne mufuna nani? Yusuf Nsibambi. Yeah, ali kuchi. Because
he has been appointed as the
Chembade Ngamba Nsibambi Mumanyinga, one of the senior lawyers in this country. I don't really expect him to accept this appointment, well knowing that it is irregular, well knowing that the appointment of the Honorable Samu Junganda was not a personal appointment by Nathan Nandala Mafabi. So I really do not expect him to take up this appointment. But the other question behind my back, has he been appointed without being contacted? You get it? That is a question.
So you think if he had been contacted?
That is a question that I'm grappling with. I think if he had been contacted, there is no way the Honorable Nsibambi that I know would accept this irregular appointment. And I don't think he would accept that. So I'm still thinking that this should be treated with all the contempt it deserves.
But what does it speak to you?
This speaks to what I have been telling you.
The party is under capture.
The party is under capture. That organs of the party are no longer respected. The party constitution is no longer respected. And some of us are trying to save the party from this capture. This is what we are trying to do. Because clearly speaking, who would keep quiet with what Nandala is doing? Who would keep quiet with what Nandala has just done? Only an insane person would keep quiet. But if you're in the right sense of mind, you will clearly come out and say, no, this is wrong.
Balabika wali determined to eliminate the pro-Besigye leaders in the party. Would you say that? Because I've seen some people say that.
Ndoza bali mukulota. Kati kubanga ogenda kunya eliminate mimpozi ngonzisa busi. But as long as I am still alive, you're not going to eliminate me from fighting for a better country. You're not going to eliminate me from fighting for the ideals of FDC. Clearly not. Nzana bagambye dda ebintu byamwe bya intimidation ebyo bana batusindikira message watch face bamwe bamuteseeko tebajja tutiisa. We carry scars on our bodies. You see my face full of scars. I've been tortured. I cannot be tortured by Museveni, and I also be tortured by Nandala, and you expect me to keep quiet. I will hit back. I will fight. Yes.
Okay, producer abantu bawe masimu tuberenga tuwuliziganya bulungi nnyo ku bigenda maaso mu FDC ebyogeddwa Deputy Lord Mayor ate nga bwe tulinda okufuna Honorable Semju Nganda ku simu. But for now, I think we should just get a very short break and we'll return shortly. Ne feedback kukumamba tovao ko Baba TV tujja.
This is Hot. Eno ni Gangamka ku Baba TV. This is Hot. Enoni Baba TV obusoga bulayire.
Are you looking for a getaway home? Look no farther than Bax Hotel. Bax Hotel offers 24-hour services, excellent room service, airport shuttles, free internet, and free parking that comes with security. Our guest rooms include climate control, DSTV, and an amazing balcony. The hotel offers an English breakfast at the restaurant and also has dining points like the Rolex Joint and the Sauce Cafe, all at affordable prices. We are located at Bucks Road, Plot 3, opposite Gingery Faro Hospital. So what are you waiting for? Come and enjoy our mouth-watering dishes. Bucks Hotel. Discover the difference.
Tirilugaga cricket obo! Ngabri mwene September! David Lutalo live concert! Jatumie! Namo! Abazimba lugogore bagenda okutegera nti ekifo kyabwe.
Eno ni Gangamka ku Baba TV. This is Hot This is Hot
Honorable Yusuf Nsibambi munamateeka oyo okudda mu kifo kya Ssemujju mu Parliament. Whether that is legally okay okusinziira ku ssemateeka waabwe, it is a point of interpretation of their constitution and of course discussion. But the latest development is that Ssemujju has actually been dropped as the FDC whip in Parliament. Njagala kufuna ku simu number zijja kuba ziyitawo mbere nga kufuna bulungi nnyo. But Madam Nyanjura, for a very long time gw'omu ku balwanyi ennyo okulaba nga Uganda etambulira ku nfuga ya demokrasiya n'ebirala byonna, bino ebigenda mu maaso mu FDC biraga ki ku cause gy'ozolwanirira ebbanga lyonna, but also n'aba opposition okutwalira awamu?
Ndowooza kati tokyaddamu kubuuza lwaki Dr. Kizza Besigye broke down yesterday, because sino si kyekibiina kye twali twenyumirizaamu ennyo, sino si kyekibiina ekyali kirwanirira Abannayuganda abali oppressed nga twagala okuleeta enkyukakyuka. Kino si kyekibiina ekyali kisuubiza abantu democracy, kino si kyekibiina ekyali kisuubiza abantu obwenkanya. Clearly omulamwa gwaffe lwaki ekibiina kino kyabeera formed bagezaako there are people who are trying to divert us okutujja ku mulamwa lwaki twatandikawo Forum for Democratic Change. Nenze era kyenzize ngamba olwo olutalo terujja kuba lwangu, olwo olutalo Nandala ne Power terujja kubabeerera lwangu. Clearly nga bw'oyogedde, sinze nzekka abantu bangi abalala bafudde, abalala bali mu makomera, abalala balina broken limbs, abalala batambulira mu bugaali nga mukwano gwaffe actually ava wali ewaffe ekyenjojo bya Mukama bwe bakuba amasasi Haruna wali ebulanga Emmengo. So kino ekibiina Nandala agezaako okukijja ku mulamwa gwe kirina okutambulirako naye mulabula nti tekijja kuba kyangu. Kungunza bwe nsalawo okulwana omanyi bulungi amasuti gano ng'eyambula ne ngavaamu ne nyambala jeani ne nyambala overall ne ntandika okulwana. Luno olutalo lwe tubaddeko olw'okununula eggwanga lyaffe. kati tugenda kusooka tulwanirire ekibiina kyaffe. Kubanga many people have hopes in the Forum for Democratic Change. Many people have hopes in us, and we are not going to let them down. We are going to be their voice. We are going to do the fighting on their behalf. We cannot merely watch.
Okay, let me get
actually nandala bino byagezaako okukola yalowooza agenda tusirisa. Instead nze kati mpulira na busungu, mpulira kati neeyongedde n'amaanyi.
Really?
Okuvaayo neeyongere n'okulwana.
Abongedde maanyi kulwana.
Zanyongedde maanyi.
Lwaki temutuula wansi? Madam Nyanjura, lwaki temutuula wansi? Ne mu reconcilinga kubanga emu ku recommendation za committee eri era ku reconciliation, perhaps for the good of the party.
Adam zeyo gye twava. None of us is opposed to reconciliation. None of us is opposed to dialogue. NEC bwe yatuula, that NEC was chaired by Power's deputy, the Honorable Nzo William. NEC yakola resolution negamba tulaba mulimu some bit of disharmony. Lwaki tetusooka ne tugendako mu lusirika nga members ba NEC ne tugezaako okwogera ebyaffe eby'omu nnyumba
munda ng'ekibiina. Number 2, eyo NEC yasalawo negamba naye nga tetunagenda mu kalulu under the current status gye tulimu kubanga tweyuzayuza Power ayogera kino Power tutula mu nkiko n'atutiisatiisa. Lwaki tetusooka ne tubuildinga harmony n'ebeera mu kibiina? Recommendation eyali esembayo twagamba lwaki tetusooka ne tulinda National Council n'etuula Elders Report n'ebeera presented. Ebyali mu National Council sirina okuddamu obinyonyola. Chairman mwalaba engeri gye bamuyisaamu n'atuuka n'okubuuka fence. Nze mwalaba engeri gye baali baagala kunkubamu. Bannaffe abalala up to now ne Peter Mwangale nga kwa mwali akyali ku kitanda. Bamukuba ne bamugjayo amannya abalala babaasa emitwe. Is that the environment under which we can talk about reconciliation and dialogue? Bino nandala byali mu kukola ebyokugoba kifuipu waffe gwe twasindikanga NEC. Gwe bw'olaba nandala ebintu byakola olaba nandala alina spirit ey'okugamba ali interested in dialogue. Clearly not. Where does it
dialogue
leave you?
must take place.
Where does it leave you as a party?
The parties involved must be willing.
True.
And for me in this, it is only Dr. Kizabesi who has been willing.
Okay. So where does it leave you as a party?
Of course, the party is currently in tatters. The party is currently disjoined. The party is currently disunited.
Can you stand again?
Stand for?
Can the party, do you think the party can rise and stand again?
This is exactly what some of us are trying to do. We are telling them we talk about democracy. Can you organize the elections that are free and transparent according to the Constitution? Can the party organs start being respected? For your information, we have been calling for NEC meetings, but the party president has refused to call for NEC meetings because he knows the majority of the members of NEC do not support his madness. They do not support how he's doing things. At one point, one of the members of NEC, the Honorable Dennis Ouma, who is our minister in charge of people with disabilities, mobilized signatures. Naito olukiiko lwa NEC naye bwe yatuuka enajja nkumbi yasanga bakifeesi nga bamulinze.
Bakifeesi bagunzi.
Ouma gwe twogerako atambulira mu kagaali. Bamukolera buli kimu naye ekyo tekyagaana Power ne Nandala omuteerako bakifeesi bamukube. So apparently this is what we are talking about.
Thank
and
you.
This is exactly what we are trying to clean up.
Thank you. Ko Baba TV kankufune ku simu bw'oyita mukendeza ko TV yo tubeere nga tukwatagana bulungi nnyo. Teesa na muvunaanyizibwa yogerako ne Deputy Lord Mayor wa Kampala ompa amannya go ne gy'osinzidde tubeere nga tutambula ffenna 0756012505 ne 0784860940 yita mu bufunze ddala tuwe bannaffe abawerako bangi omwaganya. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sebo.
Salamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sebo yogera nnyo.
Tuyogera ne Sekamanya Ayubu okuva Iganga.
Ayubu Iganga, yes.
kwebale kuleeta mukyalo oyo deputy road mayor. Ensonga yengenda okwogerako ntono nnyo
naye nnyongera eddoboozi
naye ng'ate enkulu. Ekibiina kya FDC bakikola batya okubeera ng'ebintu byonna babikwasa muntu omu Nandala Mafaabi baboogera ku kulonda kuno okuliyo nti balonda tebalina regisita. Ebyo byonna babirekera Nandala Mafaabi nga yalina obikola kyalibanga tekyamuviirako n'ensonga okulabika nti awa amanda centers gye wonna waaba ayagadde oba bo nga abaneeke bakola mulimu ki.
Okay, abale nnyo Sebo ensonga egguse. Hello Sebo.
Ora kuweleza Adamu.
Amannya ago Sebo ne gyosinzidde?
Ono Amon nkubidde embalala.
Amon n'ogamba kikija?
Ndikiriyo nnyo.
Sebo.
Ono Doreen nga tumwagala nnyo lwaki tajjamu emuke naleka okubonaabona kukoona kwonna kungi.
Kale webale nnyo mu nambalala batulabira beeyo. Hello Sebo.
Hello.
Wangi Sebo. Sebo nsaba oyogereko nnyo ate oyite mu bufunzi.
Ogera n'Amisi.
Amisi osinziddewa? Okay, Amisi ndowooza badde ayagala tubuuzaako. Kanfuna ono. Hello? Hello Sebo? Hello? Hello? Okay.
Hello.
Wangi Sebo?
Ebali.
Amannya go ne gyosinzidde? Okay, ali mu kwewuliriza ojja kujjako TV bw'oyitamu. Hello?
Hello Sebo.
Amannya go Sebo ne gyosinzidde?
Ono bamuyita Umar Bashir nsinzidde Mbale.
Mwami Umar Bashir Mbale.
Ate nga nze flaga bearer wa FDC ku LC1.
Okay.
Naye ekintu ekisinze okunakuwaza ennyo be bakulu baffe okulwanira enguwe eyo olowooza ffe aba wansi tukole tutya? Bandibadde nga era nze mu kulowooza kwange mbadde nina endowooza egamba nti Besigye yeddiza ekibiina n'ayiwa scrap yenna ekibiina kya FDC okuddawo kyandibadde nga kidizibwa Besigye mwennyini ayiwe kati kyoye yenna agenze nga we have been watching them, we are seeing them on the screen.
Okay.
Batuswaza juzi nga bali ku debate Nandala ne Semuju muganda wange Semuju n'awutirizoninga Nandala nze eno ku lwange eno Mbale nalaba nga Semuju was the rightful person.
Okay.
Kubanga omuntu when someone question is you, please pay an attention, listen to him and answer.
Addemu ebibuuzo bye babuuza.
N'ebintu okupapuka bakubuuza kirapa that is not the way.
Okay. Thank you, my brother from Mbale. Hello?
Hello?
Anji Sebo, amannya go ne gyosinzidde?
Ono bamuyita Tumba okuva Esseeta Mukono.
Ese okuva Esseeta.
Yes, Sebo. Bali ku Baba TV.
Sebo oli ku Baba TV mugana wange.
Ensonga ya FDC eno eri sensitive nnyo twandifunye engeri gyetugikwatamu nti tulina be tuyita ba glory seekers who want to see FDC going forward, and the FDC has its original ideology. Ne ideology eyo etuuka etya mu bantu. Let not be Mafabi and Paul to obutategeeza abantu kiki balina kukola.
Okay.
So nechala talina right ejja kusse mu jju. So nze ngamba kano Dr. Besigye yandize abeere open akole FDC nga bwe yalinga. Twali beerufu nnyo ku kitukola ng'omukyala.
Abale nnyo Sebo. Hello?
Sebo.
Amannya go Sebo ne gyosinzidde?
Yebale Mr. Kumbu.
Yes Sebo.
Amanya nze Maxon Banga kuva Ekaboye Sema municipality.
Sema.
Ngenda kubuuza omukyala Doreen Nyanjura.
Mubuuze.
Ekibiina nikizahiye ekibiina kamwakitanyaguza kakyatusobera ife nk'abahagizi banywa tituzehiye.
Okay, he'll respond to you. Ajja kuddamu Sebo.
ekibiina kyatubuzabuza mukire kyazwala busa mwenu twasoberwa.
Ashoberwa kija bantu bashoberwa. Hello. Sebo.
We bale kueleza.
Sebo bale kulaba Baba TV.
Oyogera ko ne Mulondo David Lubumba.
Mwami Mulondo sinzidewa. Lubumba yewa.
Lubumba channa mukaka.
Okay, mna channa mukaka.
Kakati mze mbadde nsima mpereza ali.
Okay. Abale nyo kusima mpereza. Hello. Yes. Sebo.
Sebo.
Amanya go ne jo sinzide.
Mr. Derek Gashumba.
Osinzidewa Derek?
Mr. Derek Gashumba.
Okay, sukuliza bulungi Derek afuna omulala. Ku baba hello. Hello. Sebo amanya go ne jo sinzide.
Julius okuva Sironko.
Julius Sironko, yes.
Kino ekibuzo kigenda direct oyo mama ali mu studio.
Yes, sir.
Omanyi party yaffe party y'abantu ate government yaffe government y'abantu. Katwe tujja mu mbeera ezo mbuza mama alowooza abasajja aba movement wa NRM tubawa gaapu kyeyo. Ekitegeeza tubanga tulina entalo zaffe mu kibiina tuli kuba gaapu entawo. Kati twerwaneko ng'eki abantu gaapu ekiyitako nga ffe bana FDC.
Okay. Obale Julius, Madam Nyanjura wandika. Hello. Wanji sebo.
Yebaleko mukama wange.
Amanya go ne jo sinzide.
Nze bapitaka sana Fred okuba wane Kasubi.
Yes, mwami Kasana.
Kakati mutala Nyanjura banyu okutunulira n'amaaso agamanyi kubanga ekintu kino bonna bayinza okukifiirwa. Kubanga omukulu ayagala osanyawo ebibiina tajja kugenda okulaba nga bamubalira testi zaabwe balaba essanja kiggwako baagala kufuna we bagenda naye jjukira bajja genda mu kibiina ekimu nakyo bakiryewo basigale nga bali mu bbanga naye nze ndowooza nti baalizeemu ne batuula kubanga ono enkomero ya byonna tebagenda kufunamu.
Okay, hello. Wanji sebo.
Adamu batuweza muganda wange.
Abale kulaba sebo.
Amanya gange ze Katongole Peter Elias Kamojja.
Mami Katongole Peter.
Nsinzire okutumbula omukutu wagaluka Baba F. Mukama oyo mulamusiza nnyo deputy waffe Nyanjula yafuna ekyamanyi okulanga tuva mu kkomera eruzira.
Kulikayo sebo.
Oluvannyuma lwa pati yange enyinya nayo okunsiga ate. Abasajja batyolayolaawo yogayoga katwe okuva mpaka luzira. Naye ekirungi nti yakola ekirooka kino okulanga tuvayo mu kkomero wamu ne pulezidenti wange Dr. Kano Kiza Besigye. Naye nga banna kibiina kya FDC tubeetegefu okuwanirira pati yaffe okulaba ng'ekibiina tekitwalibwa abantu beeyagaliza ebyabwe. Tugenda kuba n'okulanga pati yaffe okulaba ng'esigalawo nti FDC kirina okutegeeza abatuula baba bawuliriza bonna nti FDC njovu gye bagirira Dr. Kiza Besigye empologoma tebamumira. Tunola ensonga ebo beerawo era tubeetegefu okuwanirira pati yaffe.
Okay.
Wala okutuweereza.
Kale nfuneyo babo tubeere nga tumaliriza. Hello.
Adamu gyebaleko.
Kale sebo naye gyebaleko.
Donko okulamusa omukyalo oyo deputy Rosemary.
Ani ondo sebo?
Ono amuyita Hamza ina mugongo.
Yes, mwami Hamza.
Ekyensooka njagala kumuwabulamu omukyalo oyo. Uganda entuusewo mbere bagitwalawo batyo. Kati baba batutte pulezidenti kino ate omu tetumanyi emitweri ekibiina alinako ekibiina ndogera mwetegeezamba pulezidenti kino yasooka basekotete balina amaanyi kati tolinnya eno kubiina awagire daba nga biyinza obutakola kyabakola nekata kyaliko gamba mbuno ekitatuusa obuyinza kibiina gundi na gundi yagende gye bamutuma bakolere bantu bekibiina biveeko
ebyekibiina biveeko
abiveeko banaye tibakyaliko tigumbiige kutaasa.
Okay. Ebale nnyo sebo. Hello.
Mwami Adamu ebale kweza taata.
Sebo ebale kulaba.
Ono Sebunya Alex Wani Bulenga.
Yes, mwami Sebunya.
Enja kubuuza ku Lord Mayor ekibuzo kyange kiri kimu kyokka.
Lord Mayor ndi naye wano mu studios.
Nange era mbalaba.
Ensonga oziwulidde?
Nziwulidde zonna nakutandikise naawe mpaka onoomala.
Obuuze tuwulire.
Ng'oggyeko ekya ssente
Lord Mayor mulaba bakulembeze nandala ne power be babadde abatufu bakulembera bakola ebitwala kibiina mu maaso banedda.
Namutuulire bulungi sebo.
Ng'ogyeko ekya ssente kino kitulabe kiri mu gundi nnaku zino. Power ne nandala balaba bakulembeze abatufu abadde bagattako FDC okugattako oba okwawulako obwawuzi.
Anti abantu be baalonda bannakibiina.
Mbuuza Lord Mayor ye kennyini ibo balaba babadde abatufu abasaanidde.
Kale bamise bunya ajja kudda mugarange. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Derek Gashumbe Kawempe.
Gashumbe Kawempe mpe eddoboozi yongerako.
Akati kyensaba omukyalo oyo ayina mwagala nnyo kuba ayina ebintu azimba ayina ebigambo ebirungi ebizimba eggwanga. Nga idea ye n'ebirowoozo bya bisitula n'abireeta mu MK movement.
Mumwagala mu MK movement?
Mumwetaaga mu MK movement.
Kale kafuneyo basatu tumalirize. Hello.
Hello Sebo.
Sebo.
Wabale kuweereza.
Wabale kulaba.
Okagome Jinja.
Ani?
Okagome Bugembe.
Bugembe, yes.
Eso. Kati nzaba dagamba. Ekibiina kya FDC tukiruddemu ebbanga ggwanvu. Era nze mbadde nsaba tutuule butuuzi tulabe engeri ekibiina kino gye tukyongerayo mu maaso. Nze nsigadde CEO wa Kagoma Political Platform.
Kale CEO Kagoma Political Platform. Okay. Mutuule mulenge
ngwe bali kuweereza Sebo.
Esebo.
Fred Munyonyo.
Fred Munyonyo.
Nebaza nnyo omukyalo oyo kwanjula n'okulaga obwerere bw'omukulu Nandala Mafaabi oyo. Omukulu oyo kye yasooka mu byonna. Weyagwira tebyasooka n'aleeta ebyamawanga era amuleeta bino n'okuuka bakayeka biki. Nebalaza obwerere ekikulu ekirala kyonna kyensaba. Ababanga balonda obukulembeze bwabwe. Balondoole nga omuntu omukulu Nandala oyo singa bagendera nnyo mu Bugis Cooperative Union bwe yali akozeeyo. Ekituufu kiri nti baali tebalina busukulu bwenna bamuzembezaako wano. Nebaza nnyo okuba nti bamwanise byonna byaki. Mwebale nnyo mwebale etaade.
Sebo gwasembyeyo oba nnyabo? Sembayo Sebo oba nnyabo? Hello? Okay.
Hello.
Wanji nnyabo? Hello ma'am. Kufiiriddwa y'omukyala ekagolwa tufe.
Balamusizza abasama bange.
Esebo.
Amanya Salitama yasenzedde wano Munyonyo.
Yes, Munyonyo.
Nze nno nja kugamba omukyalo oyo yeebala emirimu gy'akolera ekibiina kyaffe. Era ne mupakasa nti FDC yatandikawo dda nga Nandala Mafaabi tetunalowoozaako nti alibeera mu kifo ekyo kyalimu. Era okubaleka okukola twabawawuwidde etu naye naffe tugenda kusukiramu kuba ekibiina kyaffe olaba baagala tubeere ku street tukipanirire tujja kirwanirira.
Okay. Kale
ajjeko akajanjalo powa kyekibiina kyaffe ffe twakitandikawo baba baagala tusuke tujja situka bagenda kulaba.
Okay. Kale naye nawe finduza omukyala omwami obanga gwali ku simu leka tufuneyo omukyala omu because at least nkyaziza mukyala not so many ladies in politics. Bwembanga nkyaziza omu munnaabwe n'alifunye omukyalo munempulira ku byalowooza ku nsonga eziriwo mu ggwanga. If you're a man, please don't call. Let's have to speak to us. Njagala mukyala yeka kusima omu yeka then tubeere nga tumaliza enteekateeka eno. Wanji maama?
Hello.
Okay. Kale njagalayo omukyala.
Assalamu alaikum kum.
Alaikum salam ne njagalayo omukyala omu yeka. Just a lady or a woman, one woman. Hello? Hello, ma'am. Okay. I want to give it a trial. Just one try. Hello?
Mama, bawama tebagala ku.
Okay. Tugenda koma nakumasema. Honorable, abantu obawulidde. Njagala tumalirize enteekateeka olunaku olwaleero. Okay. Would you like to respond?
Yeah, ebibuuzo bibadde bingi naye ndowooza ngenda kwanukulako ebyo byensobodde okuwandiika. mwebale okukuba amasimu abanzizaamu amaanyi mwebale. All I can tell you is that the struggle continues.
I'm surprised people seem to agree with whatever you've said here, at least the biggest number, if not all.
You see, what I'm saying, these are not my personal views. Like I have said, I am here to represent millions of Ugandans, millions of the FDC supporters who do not get an opportunity to come to Baba TV and air their views. So the views I am giving are not my views. These are views of Ugandans that are oppressed. These are views of FDC members who know their aspirations, who know their objectives, who know why they chose to support FDC. I believe they chose to support FDC because of what FDC stands for. So these are not my views.
Okay.
These are views of Ugandans. And I am happy that they're encouraging us to move forward. I received 2 phone calls from people inviting me to join the MK movement. I think I already made a pronouncement. If you go on my Twitter handle, it is
Maybe
there.
you should say it one more.
And I said if Muhoozi Kainerugaba is going to contest for presidency in 2026, sorry, I'll come out and contest against him.
No, you need to say that again. Please look in the camera.
On my Twitter handle, the MK movement supporters that are inviting me to join the MK movement, I already made a declaration to the effect that if MK is going to contest for presidency in 2026, I, Nyanjura Doreen, I am going to contest against him. Because 1, Uganda is not a kingdom, but 2, I believe I'm a better leader than Muhoozi Kainerugaba. So I could probably invite you to join the team Nyanjura task force of 2026 if Muhoozi Kainerugaba is going to contest for presidency. So I hope that jazz stops at that, because I'm in the race if your man is coming. There are people who wondered whether as NEC we are playing our part. And I have said as NEC we have been playing our part. That is why we made a number of resolutions trying to bring about harmony in the party, trying to forge our way forward about the current crisis that we are undergoing. And unfortunately, our way forward was ignored by Nandala Mafabi, who is the accounting officer. Not all of us are signatories to the party account. Our way forward that required facilitation was ignored by the Treasurer General, that is the Honorable Ekanya Joffre, who is also a signatory to the party accounts. And the same was also ignored by the party president. And you can see what is happening. Nandala is issuing directives, as an individual, and not as and not on behalf of NEC. So as members of NEC, we are awake, and we have been demanding power to call for NEC meetings. Has failed in doing that. And by the way, I saw Honorable Salam Musumba saying if power doesn't call for a NEC meeting, he's inviting us for NEC today at midday, which will sit in her office. So I hope that still stands.
Today.
So we are trying to improvise. We are saying, yes, power and Nandala, if you're not available,
you'll go ahead and sit.
We shall go ahead and sit. And of course, we shall go guarding ourselves, because you know what to expect. We know there are goons, there are faces that are waiting for us at the party headquarters. So as members of NEC, we are doing our level best, and that is why last week we held a press conference and tried to guide the country on the way forward as far as the elections are concerned. Those are members of NEC that did that. So we are doing our level best. There's another one who said that Dr. Kizza needs to come up and take over the leadership of the party. Unfortunately, that might not be possible. Dr. Kizza is a leader in his own right. He does not need any position in the party. And I don't expect people to reason like Nandala, who was asking Dr. Kizza in what capacity he was trying to question him about the issue of money, since he does not hold any position in the party. He does not need a title. he still bears a lot of influence, and he still has a very huge following. And he served his term, because if you look at our party constitution, for each office bearer, you're supposed to spend there 2 terms. So Dr. Besigye didn't finish his 2nd term, but he resigned, and he had clearly served. He said he was going to start a liberation front at Katonga Road, where he's uniting all forces of change to come up and fight for liberation. And I can tell you that our offices at Katonga are functional, and we are still inviting Ugandans to come and join us, and we fight for change. We fight for a better Uganda. The questions are many. I don't know if I still have time. I don't know if there's any specific one. Maybe this one. There's one caller who asked, ngojeke sente.
Mwemulaba Nandala ne Power bebali abatufu okubakulembera.
Tebali batufu. Kubanga ebintu bye twogerako si bya sente byokka. Njogeddeko n'ebintu byakalulu. Akalulu kano okwebaorganizinga ne bagende nakawa ne bagamba gwegenda wano kyekimu kye bakoze Busia abewakiso ne babajjayo ne bateeka wane najana nkumbi, so ekyo nakyo tebakikoze bulungi.
By the way,
ensonga y'okubiri yeno kati gyakoze Nandala yebaka n'agamba kati gwe Ingrid nkugobye kati gwe Semuju nkugobye kiyalo olabira ddala oyo si mukulembeze
Nabira
oyo si yandibadde akulembera ekibiina kyaffe. So it's not these reasons of money, but there are so many other reasons as to why Nandala and Power are not the rightful leaders. Yes.
Ngatumaliriza, do you regret supporting Patrick Oboy Amuriat in 2017?
Of course I regret.
Come again?
Yes, I do regret.
You regret?
Yes.
You think you should have supported General Mugisha? Maybe.
You see, human beings are tricky. Had I known the true colors of the Honorable Patrick Amuriat Oboy then, I would not have supported him. I wouldn't. Kungu, for me, I campaigned in Kampala. If you go in Makere, I won with an overwhelming 80%. Where everyone was asking, who is your candidate for presidency? But you can go to Makere and find out. I was telling them my candidate is Patrick Amuriat Oboy. By the mere fact that I'm an FDC leader, there's no way I was going to support any other candidate. It wasn't easy.
But you now regret.
It wasn't easy to support Power under the environment that was so hostile, under the environment that was largely in favor.
Has he betrayed you?
No. He has not only betrayed me, he has betrayed the struggle. He has betrayed the aspirations of so many oppressed Ugandans. And had I known his true colors then, I shouldn't have supported him. But like I said, I supported him because he said he was the man of action. He said he's in for defiance.
Which
and by the way, because Muntu was saying something different, you know, so I was like, wow, this is the guy, he's for defiance. He's a man of action. I need to go and support him.
Has he veered off his promises?
Yes, if you read the report, you can clearly see they're saying they no longer have interest in activism. They even no longer have resources to support street activism. So clearly he has gone away from...
so their actions don't match the words they spoke then?
They have totally gone against their words. And if the Power of 2017 meets the Power of today, they would clearly fight each other, because these are totally two different individuals. Yes, in conclusion, I think I have had a very wonderful audience.
Thank you.
The feedback has been very encouraging, and just to continue encouraging our FDC supporters and members not to lose hope. I'm simply calling upon them to come, join the struggle, to move, to get out and mobilize, organize, and together we shall transform and liberate the Forum for Democratic Change. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Doreen Nyanjura, Her Lordship, nga ye Deputy Lord Mayor w'ekibuga Kampala. Bwetubadde ekyanaku olwaleero mubadde bangi kune ku Facebook. That stream is still there. Keep the conversation. Dr. Stella Nyanzi li mu ggwanga lya German bakambula byali wano ku Facebook. N'abalala wano Kawa Julius again, Dr. West, they should come up and hold I don't know, and hold reconciliation with parties. Fred Nelson agambye, okay, webale nnyo ono ye Kyagula, okay, Charles Wachagulanyi Mingoni comrades okay webale nnyo nagamba yeseno no Godfrey kwetuli Wilson Mugo again opposition is disorganized and unstable they cannot manage to run this country nebirala Regan Mwesuga again thank you honorable Doreen okay nabalala keep the conversation obudde bwaffe buweddeyo tugenda kukoma wano tubagaliza olunaku olungi good morning.
Obairo likubona gangamuka ku Baba TV.